I'm John Burns and I'm in Mountain Bothy, right in the heart of the Cairngorms. I'll be talking to Finn and Kevin, who are maintenance organisers for the Mountain Bothies Association that maintains and protects the remote shelters that many hill walkers and climbers use in the remote parts of the Highlands of Scotland. Tell us what the role of the maintenance organiser is for the Mountain Bothies Association.
Basically, you are on about to go to your bothy twice a year, check out the rubbish situation and report back to your area organiser any substantial damage. You're responsible for emergency repairs and just generally keeping the upkeep of the bothy and liaising with the estate in question.
Finn, what is it that you enjoy about working as a maintenance? You're the youngest maintenance organiser. What is it you enjoy about that?
Getting to paint and disconnect from the internet and the world, basically. Just get some peace. I paint the bothy. I help refurbish it and clean out the bothy, take away the rubbish.
The last roof put on in 1972 and a new roof has gone on in the past year. It was quite a long-term project in planning, so a new roof went to planning consent and there was a project team who put on a new roof. They built a new porch. That's made it wind and watertight for the next 30-40 years. This coming year there will be a new floor put in, some more wood panelling and bunks, just so that future generations. I've been going to Bothies for about 54 years, I'm now 58. Being in a disgraceful state due to vandalism and rubbish to being in an absolute phenomenal condition now compared to 20-30 years ago. Ryvoan itself, when I first took it on, it had bare walls that were maroon and white. Didn't have any bunks, so we've taken it, we built a new bunk here, we painted the walls, just started maintaining it. Bothy got respected a lot more. Then the guys, the project team have taken that on a little bit further, which is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I would say that Bothies now are much more respected with the advent of the internet and guidebooks. It's through education, people are now getting educated to use them and respect them a little bit better.
Bothies have got an image of sort of being frequented by bearded old men, basically. No, don't know where they get that impression from. What changes have you seen in the people who use Bothies?
See, it's really interesting. Recently I was looking through a Bothy book from 1956 that's got my father's name in it. And there was a lot more ladies using the hills back then than there was from the 70s and 80s where you didn't meet ladies. And it was, as you say, it was all roughy-tufty mountaineers. It was the working class mountaineer and the upper class university mountaineer. Nowadays the demographics of people using Bothies has completely changed. You're getting a lot more younger people coming along, not so many working class climbers use them anymore. It's more hill walkers, cyclists, a lot more ladies are using them. It's really interesting over the 50 years that I've been going to see the use of Bothies change. Used to be we were all that went to the hills were associated with some sort of mountaineering club. We shared cars, went buses, went trains, every form of transport under the sun, and you went away to Bothies and you met the same peoples every weekend, like-minded people. In the 1990s, that changed, so you weren't meeting the same people. The Aberdonian lot were so far north that us that came from Glasgow and Edinburgh didn't really meet them very often. It was came to Cairngorms was a treat. It was the advent when you got money, you were going away individually, and you started meeting guys from Aberdeen who accepted me wholeheartedly, and I've never looked back from that. And nowadays, it's such a joy to come across groups of young lads and young ladies that are not affiliated to any climbing club or university club, going out and having their own Bothy culture. It's not our Bothy culture that we know, that Bothy culture changes. So the other day I was sat in here with Finlay one night and there was people here from all over the world. They were playing bridge and then they were singing songs from all over the world and talking. Absolutely phenomenal that us older guys could sit there looking at these younger kids and going, oh, the future is safe. Yeah? But we would like these younger people to get involved with the MBA, whether that is now, or in 10 years' time, 20 years' time. But we need a younger input. But the cultural element has changed, but possibly changing for the better. Sometimes they're party venues, as long as people clean up after themselves, that isn't a problem. Other times you'll get people just sitting reading a book. What you carry in, you should carry out. Do not leave anything in a bothy. Do not leave perishable foods, don't leave tinned foods, don't leave half-used gas canisters, because we will just discard them. The average person that comes into a bothy will carry everything themselves.
People probably sometimes leave things because they think they'll be useful. They sometimes leave things because they can't be bothered. They sometimes leave things because they actually just don't think about it.
Let's face facts, nobody really uses bothies in an emergency situation anymore. That doesn't happen. So these things that you might think are for the benefit of the bothy are not for the benefit of the bothy. The numbers of people using bothies, in my opinion, has actually reduced over the years. There used to be every weekend, every bothy that was accessible by train or by bus from the Central Belt had people in them. And then people suddenly, the advent of everybody having a motor car. So bothies are no longer as busy as they were. I would say that there's a reduction on the amount of use, apart from the very busy bothies like Carrur and Rúcoich and Dunbarry. The rest of them, even here in Ryvoan, which has got so many people visiting during the day, it's like Sucky Hall Street in Glasgow. Of an evening, you actually don't get that many people using it.
As an MO, you're not just responsible really for the bothy itself, but you're also responsible for the environment of the bothy around it. Tell us how sensitive that is, and what are the challenges that face you about that?
Environmentally and ecologically, our Maintenance Organiser is responsible for the bothy. One of the biggest problems is people defecating outside doing the toilet where they shouldn't do. That will go into the water course eventually, and you will drink it. There's been studies done, like at Ryvoan here, where the chloroform levels in the water at certain times of year go sky high. And that's because of people's toilet habits. It's not good, it's not clever. We have had, along with the RSPB and the Philosophy Commission, an ongoing campaign to highlight that here. And over the past couple of years, there's been a massive reduction in the levels in the water. This is a very sensitive area here. The natural regeneration of the trees over the past 15 years has been absolutely phenomenal. That's through the good auspices of RSPB's maintenance of the state. We are on about not to cut down trees, not to pick up dead and fallen timber, because that all has an effect on the ecology of the landscape. We have seen the birds and insects returning over the years. Let's keep that going. Before you use a bothy, you should access the Mountain Bothy website and access their bothy files, which is open to anybody, including a map. Each individual bothy has a photograph and a file, then it tells you what restrictions there are at a certain time of year. It also tells you whether that particular bothy has an open fire or it has a stove in it. It will tell you if there's any fuel source locally, if there is fuel supplied by each individual estate, which occasionally happens. If it isn't, you should carry in your own fuel, whether that is coal, or whether it's logs, or whether that's peat, which is easily available in petrol station forecourts or supermarket. When you do use a fire, when you're managing a fire, please dispose of your cold ash outside, scatter it to the four winds. That's fine, the earth will accept it. Do not pile your ashes up, because it can't go away anywhere. Make sure there isn't any tin or anything else in your ashes. That way you're being a responsible bothy user. Most bothies that have got stoves in them have got a small instruction leaflet somewhere in the bothy which will tell you how to use them. Get a good fire going, use your fuel minimally, and you'll have a good cosy warm night. Please don't be tempted to go and take timber from the local forest. Fallen timber is now recommended that we do not take it, because it rots down, and the insects and the animals all use that to regenerate itself. And also over the decades, when we're dead and gone, that'll actually generate a peat source. The sphagnum moss will live longer, the birds use it. The birds eat insects, so they get more eggs, and there's more birds appear. Please, whatever you do not cut down live trees. It does not work, it does not burn. And it gets estates very, very angry when you do that. And it can result ultimately in the loss of a bothy, or the privilege of using it taken away.
Being a maintenance organiser is a lot more than just making sure the roof doesn't leak. Do you think it gives you a relationship with a landscape that we otherwise wouldn't have?
I was asked to take on Ryvoan Bothy about 23 years ago, after looking after a bothy down in the Galway Hills that's been bulldozed. I knew Ryvoan Bothy on and off because of my father's involvement with the area from when he was younger. So I was quite privileged when I took this place on, and over the past 20 odd years I've developed a great affection, a great working relationship with both the RSPB, the Cairngorm National Park, Cairngorm Connect, and the Forestry Commission, and I've developed a great love for the nature of the area, and seeing how it's developed naturally through management, where the trees have grown, the birds have come back, the insects have come back, and seeing normal tourists coming up and finding relief in the outdoors. I love sitting outside in a stone, as I did last night, this morning, watching the grouse fleck, watching the seagull come back across, watching the hen harrier, watching the ducks return, and you get a deep connection and a deep peace of being outside. My wife died recently, and one of the solaces of myself is Mother Nature heals. And a lot of people feel that Mother Nature does heal if they can only connect away from that, away from their mobile phones, away from the internet, and you reconnect with Mother Nature, and it is wonderful.